If we look at the chart here again, then what I'm suggesting then is after you play up here to your pinky, you could play that note right there, but that's the same note there as right there. That note is the same as that note. So going up the scale, a better thing to do is do what are called index shifts. You reach out an extra fret with your index finger and play that note right there. And then your finger scoots across the fret to come back to the fret it would have normally been on. So your index finger is playing those two notes, and then you can continue to walk right up that string until you come to here with your pinky note on that string. Where do you go to next? Same thing again. You could play the next higher note right there with your pinky, but that would be awkward and cumbersome to do. Better thing is to reach out an extra fret on your next string, play a note there, scoot your finger across, index shift like that, start to walk up that string till you get to your pinky. And you see, these would be just like what you were doing with your open strings down there when you were down at the bottom of the neck. You know, you played up to your pinky and then you went to the next open string. Think of this fret as being the equivalent of the open string. You walk up to your pinky note here, and then you reach out and you have to do another index shift here. Then you walk up the string until you get to your pinky, and now this is where things get a little interesting. Because these two strings are tuned one note closer together, you can go directly from there to there without doing a finger shift. In fact, if you played that note right there on that string, you would be repeating the same note as that note right there, and you don't want to play the same note twice. Once you get to there, you just walk up that string till you get to your pinky, but then you're going to have to do one more index finger shift up on your high E string like this, because these two strings are tuned their normal distance apart, and then you're going to walk up this string finally till you get to your highest note up there. These are what are called index shifts, and you generally do these when you're going up the scale. So now watch this. Here's my chromatic scale further up the neck. I play up my 4 frets, I reach out an extra fret, I play that note there, I scoot it back onto the fret it would have been on, I walk up that string, reach out an extra fret there, walk up that string, do another index finger shift there. But here, you don't have to do a shift because these two strings are tuned one note closer together. But you do, however, have one more index finger to shift to do up on the top string. So here it is again. So here's the lowest note you can play. Here's the highest note you can play with your pinky up here. How far apart in pitch are those two notes? Just like down at the bottom of the neck, they're about 2 1/3 octaves apart. Remember when we learned we were down here and we went from our open string up to our pinky note on our high string up there? That was about 2 1/3 octaves worth of notes. Well, when we're playing further up the neck up here, it works the same way. Now, how do we come back down the scale? Now, we're going to start up here on our pinky note, on our high E string. We've got to figure out how to get 2 1/3 octaves back down to our low E string again. So, let's look at this chart over here. Now we're going to work our way down the scale, and we're going to start with our pinky note up here. That's our highest note, isn't it? And we're going to work our way back down until eventually we get down to our lower note. Well, certainly we can see how to begin our chromatic scale, our descending chromatic scale. You just, with your 4 fingers, you just walk down these same 4 frets like that until you get to your index finger. On the guitar, that would be like this. Question is, where is the next note lower in pitch than this? Where is the next note lower than this? Well, one place it would be that right there on the shaded fret, right? And I could play that note by shifting my index finger out of the box like this. See, like that. Now my index finger is playing 2 notes. It's playing that note, and then it's going down to play that note too. But that's an awkward kind of movement too. Anytime you have to shift what I call away from your hand, here's the rest of your hand here, and when you make that shifting movement and it's away from where the rest of your fingers are, it's kind of an awkward thing to do. So when you're coming down the scale, remember this note right here, just like when we saw when we were going up the scale, this note on this string, and remember my 4 fingers are occupying the frets just above that. This note right here is the same as this note right here on the previous string. Listen. Oops. When it comes to that fifth note, you always have two different places where you can play it. When we're coming down, a better thing to do, most people would agree, now your pinky is not going to like this at first, but a better thing to do is reach out an extra fret with your pinky on the previous string. That would on the chart here be like, once you've worked your way down to your index finger right here, remember this note right here is the same as this note right here. And so a better thing to do coming down the scale would be to reach your pinky out an extra fret, like that. Your pinky is not going to like this at first because it's your weakest finger, but this is one of the things you're just going to have to work on, one of the things you're going to have to practice to develop coordination and strengthen your pinky. After you've played that note there, your pinky has to play two notes. Your pinky has to do double duty. You scoot your finger, your pinky, across the fret like that, and pick up that note, and then you can continue walking down that string until you get to this note right there. Now let me show you on the neck of the guitar again. So here I am, and I'm starting with my pinky, and I work my way down till I come to my index finger, but then I go to my previous string, reach out an extra fret, and then scoot. See how my pinky is playing two different notes? It's scooting back onto the fret it was normally on, and then I walk down that string. And theoretically, you can just keep on going with that, but consider this. Remember, now, these, once again, are the two strings that are tuned one note closer together, right? Well, what that means is it's just the reverse of this. Whenever you're going between these two strings in either direction, you don't have to do a shift. So now I can go right from my pinky right to this note right here. No shift required. In fact, once again, if I reached out and tried to do a pinky shift on this fret, I would find that this note is exactly the same as this note, and I would be repeating the same note twice, and I don't want to do that. So that's going to be a little tricky. You're going to have to listen carefully to make sure you're not skipping any notes or repeating any notes twice. It's always whatever direction you're going in between your G string and your B string, there is one fewer note. So you don't do an index shift on that string when you're going up the scale, and you don't do a pinky shift on that string when you're going down the scale. Walk down the rest of that string, however, to that fret right there, and then you are going to have to do another pinky shift on this string, like that. Walk your way down till you get to that fret right there. Where do you go next? Another pinky shift right here. Remember, your pinky is playing two notes. Walk down that string till you come to your index finger, and then you're going to have one more pinky shift to do right here. And then finally, walk down that last string, and again, 2 1/3 octaves later, you're back down at the bottom of the neck again. Now here I come back down. Reach out, do a pinky shift. Now here I don't have to do a pinky shift because these are the two strings that are tuned one note close together. In fact, if I played this note and this note, they'd be the same note. I'm repeating the same note twice. I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to do a pinky shift on this string. However, I do have one to do right there. And I have another one to do right there, and another one to do right there. So you go up with your index shifts. I don't have to do one there. And then you come down with your pinky shifts. I do one there, but I don't do one there. And you're going to want to practice these all in different areas of the neck. Okay, well, that's all the time we have to show you for this stuff for this week, but that is basically all there is to know about moving your fingers on the guitar, and also the right way to sit. Try putting that guitar on your left leg. Touch all 4 frets before you start to go, and you'll know you're in the proper position, and then just get to work on those chromatic scales.